The town of Blackwater nestled in the valley like a sleeping beast, its back turned against the old mill that stood sentinel at the forest's edge. Children whispered about it at recess, daring each other to touch its weather-beaten doors. Old man Henderson at the general store would slam your change down on the counter if you so much as mentioned it. Even the stray dogs avoided the path leading to its crumbling foundation. I'd read about places like this in my paranormal research, towns with a secret so dark it becomes part of the soil, seeping into the roots of every family tree. Blackwater's secret had a name: the Shadow Miller. The town archives revealed the mill's birth in 1843, when Ezekiel Blackwater carved his fortune from the surrounding wheat fields. The leather-bound ledger showed decades of prosperity until the winter of 1889, when Jacob Blackwater took over. The entries turned strange. December 12th. Hired new foreman J. Pritchard. Strong back, quiet tongue. February 3rd. 3 sacks missing. Jacob claims rats. March 17th. Woke to find the wheel turning at midnight. No one there. April 2nd. Found Pritchard's coat in the gears. No body. The final entry, dated April 30th, 1890, was barely legible. The mill takes what it's owed. Our investigation team arrived on the cusp of autumn, when the trees bled crimson and gold. Lena Chen adjusted her EMF detector with nervous fingers, her dark eyes reflecting the mill's broken windows. Marcus Boyle, our tech specialist, hummed tunelessly as he calibrated the thermal cameras, a sure sign he was anxious. "Readings are already off the charts," Lena murmured. The EMD spiked to 300 milligauss near the foundation. "This isn't residual energy. Something's active." I checked the thermometer. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The baseline for our investigation. Little did I know it would be the last normal reading we'd get. The mill door groaned like a dying man as we entered. Our flashlights cut through decades of dust, revealing footprints too fresh to be ancient, yet too old to be ours. The air smelled of rust and something else, the metallic tang of old blood. At 7:17 p.m., Marcus's recorder clicked on by itself. "He watches." The voice wasn't human. It bubbled up from some wet, dark place, the words slurred as if spoken through broken teeth. Lena's hand found mine, her fingers ice-cold despite the humid air. Then the temperature plummeted. The thermometer dropped from 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 42 degrees Fahrenheit in 11 seconds. Our breath fogged the air as the EMF detectors screamed. The REM pod by the gear shaft lit up like a Christmas tree, its alarms wailing. That's when we heard it, the groan of rusted metal. The mill wheel turned. Not some phantom creak, but a full, shuddering rotation that sent dust cascading from the rafters. The sound vibrated through the floorboards, up my legs, settling in my molars like a bad tooth. Lena's camera caught it first, a darkness that swallowed the infrared light. It stood near the old control panel, tall and hunched, its outline resolving into something almost human. Almost. "Elias," Marcus whispered, his voice cracking. He pointed with a shaking finger. The shadow turned its head. Not a trick of light, not some dust-induced illusion. It turned and looked directly at us. I saw then what the old ledger meant. This was no ghost. This was something that had been feeding for a very long time. The machinery roared to life with a scream of protesting metal. Gears that hadn't moved in 50 years ground together, spitting rust like dried blood. The mill wheel became a blur, its paddles whipping through air that now reeked of burning wheat and something fouler. "Christ!" The voice came from everywhere at once, vibrating through the floorboards. Marcus screamed as invisible hands yanked him toward the churning mechanism. I lunged, my fingers brushing his jacket before an icy force wrenched me backward. My head cracked against the floorboards. Through swimming vision, I saw the shadow figure at the controls, its elongated fingers pulling levers that shouldn't have worked. Lena's shriek cut off with a wet crunch. The smell of copper filled the air. Marcus was halfway into the grinding mechanism when I last saw him, his mouth open in a silent scream. The shadow turned toward me. I saw then what Jacob Blackwater had become. Not a man, not a ghost, but something that had fused with the mill's hunger. Its hollow eyes were the color of old flour sacks, its mouth a gaping maw of broken teeth. "More," it whispered. I don't remember running, only the sensation of cold fingers brushing my neck as I burst through the door. The night air hit my face like a slap. I didn't stop until I reached town, where the lights still burned bright and cheerful, oblivious. They found our equipment the next morning, neatly arranged by the door as if waiting for pickup. The cameras showed only static after 8:03 p.m. The audio files contained exactly 47 seconds of perfect silence. The official report listed my colleagues as missing. The townspeople knew better. Now, when the wind blows from the east, you can hear the mill wheel turning. And if you listen very, very closely to that silence, more grist for the mill.